Alright, welcome everyone to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Today we are going to be looking at my first take for Traptrix. As we all know, Traptrix structure deck just came out a couple days ago. It is a really great structure deck. I would even say it's probably one of the easily in the top 5 best ones they've released. Not just in terms of how viable they are competitively wise, but some of the reprints that they put in there are just absolutely insane. You have Regeki for board clearing, Harpy's Feather Duster, but most important of all, another reprint in a structure deck for Ash Blossom, and then evenly match. Getting its person super rare printing in a structure deck means that a lot more people can gain access to it. So overall, like really great structure deck, and the Traptrix themselves are actually really good this format, just because there really isn't too much that's like overwhelming, and most of the matchups they have against other decks are actually really solid. You know, a lot of decks kind of have to pick and choose how they want to play against you. I would say like the deck's worst matchup, probably Labyrinth. Playing a match against Labyrinth earlier in the weekend locals, it was like kind of a back and forth. It wasn't like they had a free reign over us either. It's just, you know, the deck's biggest weakness is it can't really summon out too many big attack monsters, and if Labyrinth are constantly stopping you from doing any of your XE plays and sending out the big 3k beaters, it is a little bit tough to go through. But overall, I feel like Traptrix, if you're playing, you know, with a limited budget, like even if you have like $50-$60 to put into a deck, like I think the Traptrix structure deck is really, it's a very viable option. But the biggest thing is you might be put on an FBI watch list if you buy this. But let's go ahead and get into the breakdown here. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the cards that I think you should play 3 of, and the first card goes without saying, you should definitely be playing 3 Traptrix Murmello. When it's normal summon, you search for a normal hold trap card. When it's special summon, target a spell or trap card your opponent controls, destroy it. It's good removal. The second effect is not once per turn, so just being able to kind of loop this to kind of clear your opponent's backboard is pretty dope. And all the Traptrix share the common effect that they are unaffected by whole normal trap cards. So yeah, Traptrix Murmello, normal trap card, can get you a full combo. I would recommend you never play less than 3. Always max out on it, because this is one of your key pieces. And like I said, like with it, you can go into a full combo, because link 1 into Sarah, set the Holotea, you search off of it, activate Holotea, and then like you go off. You straight up go off. So definitely 3 Murmello. I don't think it's controversial to say that. 3 Traptrix Mantis. Also this second best card you can open with when it's normal summon. Add a Traptrix monster from your deck to the hand. So a good way to kind of search your cards. And then the quick effect works well with one of the other Traptrix monsters we'll talk about later, in which it lets you bounce back one of your side cards and then reset it. So, you know, after a while, when you're resetting all your cards, your opponent kind of gets to know what you have. Just a good way to kind of keep them guessing. Again, I would say max out on this one, because it's not too often that you don't want to max out on a searcher. Next up, one of the new cards in the deck, we have Traptrix Arachnocampa. Arachnocampa, it again unaffected by normal hold trap cards. First time your set spell or trap cards would be destroyed, they are not. This is really key, because its other effect is if you control a Traptrix monster, quick effect, special summon this card, but you are locked out of monsters from the extra deck except plant and insect monsters, which for the most part for us, or for you if you're playing Traptrix, not too bad of a detriment. But the big thing about its effect being a quick effect is that you can chain it in response to your opponent activating like a Harpies or a Lightning Storm. Just being able to special summon that, keep it in hand, and prevent your spell and trap cards from being destroyed. They just wasted one of their board clearers, and you know, you got a monster off there, and especially if you have Sarah out, you just got another set. again, I would play 3 of this one just because it's an excellent extender. It's a good protector, and then whenever you're, you know, trying to go out for combos, just special summon, like getting an extender, always a great thing. And then one that I was playing 3 of, but just because I love the banishing section. Traptrix Pudica, whenever it's normal summon, you add the field spell that was introduced in the structure deck. Pudica, my apologies. Pudica is also a new card from the structure deck. So yeah, when it's normal summon, you can add the field spell. When it's special summon, you can target one face up. You can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, so it doesn't have to be face up, banish it. But during the next standby phase, they can special summon one of their banished monsters. But if you're banishing something like a token or you know, key piece of their Kashtira thing, I don't know why I'm saying things. Yes, they're gonna get a special summon monster back, but it's a fantastic interruption. Now, I was playing 3 because I wanted to see it as much as possible. 1 or 2 may actually just be fine, just so that you can add maybe some other hole traps, but I would say at least play. I gotta test it out some more before I say this as a definitive thing, but I would say at least 2. I would say at least 2. You may not have to play 3. I'll give it another week of testing just to kind of see how it keeps going, but that's one of the things I might change. One of the things I won't change though, double Dionea. When it's normal summon, target a Traptrix monster in the graveyard, special summon that target in the defense position. When it's special summon, target a whole normal trap card in the graveyard, reset it. Really good. Again, you can extend some replace. You can special summon a Murmello to pop some things, or whenever you bring it out via the effect of like a Sarah or a Alamera or something like that, just setting one of your holes just to reset it. The whole trap card does leave during the next end phase, but if you have a Mantis going, you can definitely just return that card to basically stop that effect from happening and then reset it. But yeah, I would definitely play 2 of her. And that is it for the Traptrix monsters. There's a few other ones that I've been looking into potentially adding, just because they can be more extenders. And, you know, again, the Pudica is something that I could definitely cut down to put in something else. But something that I feel that you should play, it doesn't come in the structure deck, but the card itself is relatively cheap and truly helps the deck just go absolute crazy, is Parallel Exceed. Parallel Exceed, if this card is special summoned by the effect of itself, its level becomes 4 and its original attack and defense become halved. But if you control a link, or if you link summon a link monster, I don't know why I would say that any other way, but if you link summon a monster, special summon this card from your hand in the zone that the link monster points to, and you can special summon another one. So go into Sarah, you have Parallel Exceed, drop it in, now you have an instant rank 4. It is an amazing extender in this deck. It doesn't use up, and it doesn't lock you into any kind of thing, so you can go into like your Time Thief for Doer, or your Rafflesia, or your Pangicula. Like, it is a fantastic card. I would personally say, like, play this card in the Traptrix deck, just because it helps you gain so much advantage. And then we're gonna go ahead and go for our non-Traptrix monsters. Triple Ash Blossom, right now the best card, or the best card in the format. It might be. It's definitely the best hand trap in the format. Being able to stop so many things, stopping Kashtira searches, stopping a branded player's entire turn if they go branded fusion. You know, it stops the special summon effect of Sarah if you're mirror matching. It stops Labyrinth plays. Like, it does so much this format. Play 3. Like, it goes without saying, especially if you buy 3 structure decks, you're gonna have 3 of her, so play them. And then I would say probably the second or third best hand trap. I know Ghost Spell is seeing some play, and that might be something that you might consider citing in, but at the very least, Nibiru, the Primal Being. There's a lot of special summoning with not a lot of negates being put out there. Nib is just great at eating up your opponent's field, ending their turn. It's great against Cash. It's great against Branded. Pretty solid against Traptrix as well, because like they can go crazy, and unless they have the Rafflesia or a Gravedigger's Trap Hole, like that just wipes their board out. Really good card. Alright, and then we're gonna go ahead and go to our one spell that we play. Traptrix Garden. It's a really good spell. It's weird seeing spells in single digits, I will not lie, but during the main phase you can normal summon a Traptrix monster in addition to your normal summon. We're mainly playing Traptrix, but every now and then you need to normal summon a monster just to like link off. But yeah, you can gain an additional Traptrix normal summon the first time each instinct or plant monster you control would be destroyed by battle. It is not. Same with the Arachnocampa, being able to protect your monsters from getting destroyed by battle is clutch. And then you can banish a monster you control, special summon a Traptrix monster from hand or graveyard. So you can only use this last effect of it once per turn, but still, great extender, great utility. Like, at the very least, play one. You can play multiples if you want, but you're gonna have so many ways of getting the card, so play the one. Alright, so next up we're gonna go ahead and go with our whole trap cards, and we'll go ahead and start off with the best card in the deck, like the best card from the structure deck that isn't the hand trap or evenly. Traptrix Holotea. This card is absolutely nutty. You can activate it the turn it's set by discarding a normal trap card, so not just any whole trap card, but normal trap card. So some trap cards in your hand that may be dead going first, Holotea makes them live. And then you special summon this card in defense position as a normal monster, level 4, 2400 defense. And yeah, so setting this or searching this off of Mermello, go into your Sarah, activate it, get the Sarah effect to special summon a monster, then you can get a rank 4 play. Like, it is so good, and it has so much utility. And also the fact that, you know, while it's in the graveyard during the next turn, you can banish it to special summon one of your Traptrix monsters, so it could be a great disruptor. So banishing it to special summon like a Pudica to banish you know, a monster that your opponent needs, or summoning Mermello to pop off some of the spell and trap cards against your opponent. Like, it has so much utility. The main thing that keeps the card balance is you can only use one of the effects once per turn and only once per turn. So they kept it power checked, otherwise this card would just be ridiculous. But keeping it balanced is pretty rare for Konami to do every now and then, but this card is just great in the deck. And then we'll go now for the normal hole trap cards. The only one that we play multiples of is Floodgate Trap Hole. Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse are really good this format, so having, you know, multiple things that flip monster space down is great. The only drawback is it's only whenever it'll only get one monster at a time, unless your opponent can bring out like 2 things with something like, I don't know, like a pendulum summon or something like that. Doesn't work against link monsters, and most of the time you'll be getting one, but it'll be a clutch one to do it against. Traptrix Hole Nightmare. When a monster that was special summoned this turn activates its effect, its effect on the opponent's field, negate that effect, and if you do destroy it, you can definitely bump that up to multiples. Same thing with Gravedigger's Trap Hole. When your opponent's effect activates in the hand, graveyard, or banish, negate the effect, and then if you do, inflict 2k damage. Great at preventing you from getting the Nibiru, great at, you know, blocking an Ash Blossom, great at stopping kind of graveyard centric effects. And then that little bit of burn damage could come up if you come to time. Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare. If they special summon a monster this turn, target one monster they control with 2,000 more attack, destroy it. Then if you have a normal whole trap card in the graveyard, banish a monster in the graveyard. So good way of destroying a monster, getting rid of a resource in the graveyard. Pretty good. I don't think you need to play more than one on this one. 1 time space trap hole. When they special summon a monster from the extra deck or hand, shuffle it back and then lose 1,000. I mean, fantastic form of disruption. And then 1 bottomless. Bottomless does still have certain interactions to go through. Being able to bottomless like a Fallen Valbaz or, you know, an Albion that they bring out or something like that is still pretty good. But it's not necessary. You can cut it out to maybe play like another Traptrix Whole Nightmare, but I still think it's pretty good. So I'm still going to play it for the time being. But definitely I want to work my way into being able to put in another Traptrix Whole Nightmare. That card is pretty good and probably could have won me a few games this past Thursday. 3 evenly matched. It's a fantastic card. Like, and even if you're going first and you haven't, it goes well with the Holoteo. Pitching it to be able to activate the Holoteo effect and go off, because you're not really going to need it that turn, because you'll be able to set up and disrupt your opponent. And then finally, sorry about the awkward silence there, drop some cards. Finally, triple infinite impermanence. Again, fantastic card this format, because it totally avoids not avoids, but it prevents your opponent from basically being able to activate triple tactics talent, triple tactics thrust, because it's not a monster effect, it's on once per turn. So if you have multiple of them in the hand, you get multiple negates. All around great card. And then if you're going something in like a mirror match or going against Labyrinth, being able to shut up the column is still pretty good. So yeah, that is it for the main monster deck. Like I said, there's a few changes that I'm already thinking about kind of working around. Definitely cutting down on the Pudica, because I know I think 1 is too low, 2 might be the right number, 3 just felt like it kind of clogged up the hand. We're gonna go ahead and go to the extra deck now. So the extra deck is, I feel like, aside from like 7 or 8 monsters, you can kind of do whatever you want with it. But I would be remiss without saying, like, play multiple Sarah. You may not have to maximize on 3. I played 3 because I know cash players are just going to immediately start ripping this card out so that you don't gain advantage, because Sarah is absolutely insane. Part of the reason why I don't run the spell card that lets you discard 1 to draw 2 is because why run that and risk your opponent ash blossoming you so you neg yourself 2 cards when Sarah just does everything for you. Sarah sets your normal whole trap cards. Sarah special summons your Traptrix monsters to keep extending, like, and the requirements for it are so easy because you're going to be doing them. You're going to be activating normal trap cards. You're going to be activating Traptrix effects. Like, it's so good. It does so much. Yeah, no, like the best card in the extra deck, Sarah. So to go into a little bit more detail, whenever Sarah has the link requirement of 1 Traptrix monster, 1 non-link Traptrix monster to be specific. Whenever your normal hold, or whenever a normal trap card is activated, so not yours, could be your opponent's as well, special summon a Traptrix monster, and then whenever one of your other Traptrix monsters effects is activated, set a whole normal trap card from deck to the field. It is absolutely fantastic what it can do. Definitely play that. I believe Kalaria is optional. I play it because I don't have many of the other extra deck cards I would like to have, but she's still pretty good. If the first time you activate a normal whole trap card, you can just reset it. During the end phase, you can special summon a Traptrix monster, so you can special summon a Sarah back, Mermello to pop stuff, Pudica to banish things, etc., etc. And then one of the new one, Traptrix Adipus. Adipus is pretty good, but I don't think it's good enough that warrants playing multiples of it. So it's a Link 3, requires 2+ monsters, including at least an insect or plant monster. Unaffected by trap effects, all Traptrix monsters gain 1000 attack, while a normal trap card is in the graveyard. You can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of insects monsters you control, negate their effects until the end of this turn, and then you can banish a normal trap card to destroy one of them. You're not really going to be using that last effect too often, but it'll still come up. You mainly make it because you're going to be trying to push for game. And that is it for the Link monsters right now. I know I want to put in an Aza for mirror match and potentially an access code for going for game, but the situation seldomly came up. But still, a few more Link monsters. Rosemary Chasma Fiend, believe that's the proper name for it, wouldn't be a bad card to put in there either. Next up, we're going to go ahead and go into the Xyz. Rafflesia, goated card, 2 level 4s. Whenever it makes it so that all your Traptrix monsters cannot be destroyed, or yeah, they're unaffected by trap cards while this card has materials. They cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Your opponent cannot target Traptrix monsters you control except Traptrix Rafflesia with card effects. And then once per turn, whenever they activate something, let me make sure. So once per turn, whenever the requirement for a whole trap card is met, detach a material, send that card to the graveyard. This effect becomes that effect. So very great card to kind of stun your opponent. I'm playing 2 of the Pinguicula. I think that's how you say it. Well, it has material. It's unaffected by trap effects, and the effects of the same type of monsters was the same type. So like if it has an insect, it's unaffected by insect type monsters. If it has a plant, etc., etc. And then you can only use the following effects of it once per turn. Detach 1 material from this card, add a Traptrix monster, so a searcher, and then whenever a card on your opponent's side of the field is sent to the graveyard by card effect, I believe it's graveyard, or is it banished? No, banished as well. It's banished by card effect, except during the damage step, you can attach one of those monsters onto this card. So great at just reattaching the Fallen of Albas that they would send off of Branded Fusion, or one of their key cards that they use for like a or not for cost, but just like for their card effects, just attach it to it, and if you match the type, you gain an immunity. Pretty good. And then the one Elmaris, detach 2, special summon 1, and then if an opponent's monster leaves the field because of your card effect and is not in the graveyard or banished, except during the damage step, you can attach it, or you can detach a material and then target one of them. Then target one of those monsters, special summon it to the field. So pretty good at special summoning and helping you kind of go for game. And then I feel like these next 2 are kind of the only mandatory ones you should play in here. Time Thief for Doer, and then a Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. We actually summon a lot, so goes without saying, play Zeus. Time Thief for Doer is just a great card to kind of, not so much stun, but just like add another layer of annoyance against your opponent. Taking the top card of their deck and attaching it. The quick effect to detach to send a card to the top of their deck is pretty good. So I would definitely say play at least 2 of that. And then because I still haven't been able to kind of finalize and get some other key cards, I played 1 Baguska because rank 4 does things, and then I played 1 Tornado Dragon because I could not think of any other ones. I'm going to try to get in my hand on an Exton Knight to replace the Tornado Dragon with, and I know one of my friends is searching for the Springin's Mary and the Champion Sargus, because those are just going to be like all around good utility cards. Not so much the Mary, but going into the Sargus. I don't play the Therion package, but being able to bounce cards with the Sargus to try to facilitate for game isn't bad. Let me catch my breath there. Onto the side deck. Triple copies of Torrential Tribute. Just kind of playing that to be another board clearer. While it's a bit silly, being able to use this against your opponent in a mirror match, because the Traptrix are unaffected by normal holes except for Sarah and then the Xyz while they have materials. So being able to straight up just torrential your opponent's field to prevent them from even going is not a bad strategy at all, and not in general, like torrentialing fields is pretty good. Triple Solemn Judgment, we hate getting evenly matched ourselves, so Solemn Judgment is the way to go to prevent that from happening. Also solemning, you know, something like a board breaker or even a like Xyz summon, not too bad. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Triple Dimensional Barrier stuns our opponent for a little bit, and then we get Sarah's effect to go off. Can definitely be a ban-worthy card. I think I got triple D-barriered against Labyrinth. Sucked because it didn't allow me to go into any of the other Xyz monsters to kind of clear their bigger monsters. So it definitely, if you're in a mirror match, D-barrier so that they can't go into their Xyz as well. Triple Cosmic Cyclones. I hate Runic. We put in Runic Hate. Good at clearing out some of your opponent's spell and trap cards as well. Good against Labyrinth. Yeah, and then finally, Triple Contact C. I never actually played anyone to really test this out. I think most people were either on Labyrinth or Traptrix that weekend, and the one person who had, like, I believe Sword Soul wasn't. I didn't get a chance to play him, so I didn't get a chance to test this out. But it is an insect type monster, so it has some synergy with us. But it could be cut for something else, like DD Crows or Ghost Spells. Could be solid options that you can replace Contact C with. But yeah, that is Traptrix. Overall, really fun deck. One that I still need to practice with, and one that I still kind of have to tweak around. You know, this more than likely won't be the final version I'll take with me to an upcoming regional, but gonna be doing some more testing, gonna be more fine tuning, and then, you know, I'll bring you guys an updated list here in a couple weeks. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you all later.